Azoi
Section
Yaakov.
Azoi. Section 36, September 3rd, 2025. Azoi Yaakov ist gesessen beim Tehillim und geguckt auf der Schlaffe mit der Vergleich der Augen, der blasse Nose, der weiße Lippen. Azoi hat gemacht a Eshbon HaNefesh.
And by the way, this
So,
becomes Tillim in Yiddish. Tillim.
okay, there you go. I mean, that's. Okay, so just as Yaakov was sitting and reading Tehillim, and he looked at the sick one with the glassy eyes and the pale nose and the white lips. He he was making a reckoning of his soul, a reckoning of his being. The Mishpocha seine hat man ausgehalten. His family had been killed. Allein, Yankov, is 5 Jahre gewesen, a Knecht by Jan Bajik.
Bjik.
Jik. Bajik,
No,
yes.
one syllable. Bjik.
Oh, Bjik. Very good. Jan Bjik. Genächtig in Stahl zwischen den Behemoths, in Shire zwischen den Mais. And he himself, Yaakov, had 5 years been in slavery by Jan Jik. And he spent his nights in the barn among the animals and in the stable among the mice. Zwar hat gegrüßt zu Jan Bjiks Tochter und sie gewollt für sein Weib. It's true that he had lusted for Jan Bjik's daughter and he wanted to make her his wife. Aber hat nicht David HaMelech, der Mechaber von Tilim, gegrüßt zu Bathsheba, but hadn't the king, David HaMelech, the writer of Tilim, lusted after Bathsheba? Und mir soll annehmen der Posik Leuten Posten Poshet
Shot.
Beshat, ואין המקרה יוצא מדי פשוטו, and if we look at the plain meaning of the words, is David begangen größere Sinn von ihm. David HaMelech committed a greater sin than he, Yaakov, von ihm, Yaakobin, than
You want
he
to
himself.
translate this Hebrew? Ve'en hamikra yotze midei pshita.
Well, I wouldn't be able to do it well, no. And
The written
yeah.
text does not depart from its simple meaning.
So we look for the simple meaning. We look for the simple meaning. Is wie bald Gott hat vergeben Davidin, for was soll nicht vergeben ihm, Jakob? And if, excuse me? And if God forgave David, why wouldn't he also forgive him, Yaakov? Jakob hat keinem nicht weggeschickt, soll umkommen. And he, Yaakov, had not sent anybody out to be killed. Of course, the story of Bathsheba and what happened there. Yaakov hat gewusst, als die Doseker trachtenischen allein seinen Erhalber sind. Yaakov knew that just these thoughts alone were a severe sin. Die Gemara sagt, Kol ha'omer David chata, eino ele to'et. Anyone, wer es, we'll say it in Yiddish, wer es sagt, als David hat gesündigt, macht a toss. Anyone that says that David did a sin is mistaken. Uriah hachati soll haben übergelost dem Weib a get, eder is a weg in Milchoma. The husband of Bathsheba had left her a get before he went off to war. This allows David a way out of the sin, that there was a get that had been given to her before he went off to war. Die Gemara, the Midrash, haben verenfelt die Verzeitige. The Gemara and the Midrash defended the ancients. Fault. The Grois.
Can I interrupt a question? If it says Uriah Hachiti soll haben, does that mean he should have left and didn't?
I would say he must have.
He must have, yeah. He gave her the get was prepared.
Yeah, it must be that Uriah Hachiti actually had given her. Yeah. But it is interesting. It's weird to have this Zol Hobben.
Right. But that's a justification that's given for what happened in that episode. And maybe we could get involved in that discussion, but I don't think we will tonight.
Now, the question is a grammatical question. Why Zol?
Yeah. No, but also what actually happened. Okay. Fault, die große Leid, haben euch geglust zu Leid. You know, after all, the biggest people also were lusting for bodies. They haben einspeist goyische Weiber. They married non-Jewish women.
This word anspois, unusual.
Yeah.
Is that really what it means?
Yeah, it does. And it is weird, because for me anyway, because ant, you know, of course, in my simple-minded way, I think of, that's a prefix that means away from. So why does that become married? But when I was also struck by that, but that is the definition that is in the dictionary. Okay, but it is.
I think it's the equivalent of espoused.
Espoused. Well, all right.
Interesting.
So,
interesting. Okay.
Anspoist. Moshe Rabbeinu allein hat genommen an Isha Kushis. Now, that final, would you say Kushit or Kushis?
No, Kushis.
Kushis.
You've got to use the Ashkenazic pronunciation.
Okay, I must learn that. Isha Kushis. Und wenn Miriam hat gerät auf im Loschen Hora, ist sie geworden kräftig. Moshe Rabbeinu, he took a Kushi woman, a black non-Jewish woman, and when Miriam spoke badly about him, she became leprous. Yehuda, was euch sein Nomen heißen alle Jiden, hat gelebt mit der Zoine. Azoi is gewähnt de Kevon. Yehuda, who after him, his name is taken for all the Jews, Yehuda, he lived with a prostitute. That was, now, Azoi is gewähnt de Kevon. Now, that was what he was intending, that she was a prostitute, even though that was not actually the case.
Yeah,
so
this was Tamar.
That was Tamar.
His daughter-in-law.
His daughter-in-law. Yeah, right. His daughter-in-law, right. Azachochem und Tzadik, wie Shlomo HaMelech, hat Chasene gehabt mit Bas Para. Und von deswegen seinen Shir Hashirim und Mishlei Heilig Vayiden such a wise and righteous one as Solomon, the king, had married the daughter of the Pharaoh, and nevertheless, his writings, Shir HaShirim and Mishlei, are very holy to the Jews. Nu, und afilu de heintige Jiden seien sie abgehitten in alle Geboten von der Teure. And today, coming to today's day, the today's Jews, are they so following all of the laws of the Torah? In die paar Jahren, was hat herumgewandelt mit Sachen, haben sich angesammelt in sein Gemüt draußen. In the several years that he and Sarah had wandered, they're collected in his spirit disappointments. Hat der Sein Unrecht, was früher hat von sie weggeguckt. He saw unrighteousness, lack of righteousness that in the earlier years he had ignored. Hat ungeheuert Siagim in Chumras, aber ist geblieben klein, woche there were added on. Now, these words, siagim, they actually means fences. They were assurances that you're not going to, you will not violate the law, further protection of the law. And humras, I think it's an Aramaic word, I'm not sure, are constraints, further constraints, even beyond the mitzvot. It's like, if you can't ride a bicycle on Shabbat, why can't you? Because you might have to repair it. You know, it's further protection of the law.
Yeah, chumrah is a stringency. And this word ungehäuft, piled up.
Piled up. They piled up more and more stringencies and constraints. But the people remain small and everydayish. They weren't uplifted by these things. The Tekifim haben geherrscht mit der starke Hand. The powerful ruled with a very strong hand. This is their negative sense. Here I go, the Soina, the Kina, the Sina, the Kina, the concurrence hat keinmal nicht aufgehört. The hatred, the jealousies, the competitiveness never stopped. Erev Yom Kippur kommt men sich überbetten. Just before Yom Kippur, you come and you make reconciliation. Moitze Yom Kippur heben sich on die Reißenischen von Snai. Right after Yom Kippur, all of the quarrels begin all over again.
And this word here, if you follow my rules, you'll get moitze. Moitze Yom Kippur. Moitze Yom Kippur.
Yeah. I have to write those rules down to get them all. When you think I got it just from the one statement. Efter der Fall straft Gott Jeden und schickt euch sie on Chmelnitzkis. This is very controversial sentence. So maybe because of these sins of the Jewish people, God is punishing Jews and sending them situations like with Chmelnitzki, the massacres.
Right, and this whole story takes place soon after the Chmelnitzki massacres.
Right. Efter der Fall dauert das Galus so lang und es kommt nicht Mashiach. Maybe because of this, the galut is
Gullus.
the galus is lingering, and the Mashiach is not yet coming. Okay. Shall I read a little further, or we have a lot of readers tonight and we'll stop there? I can go further, or?
Well, let's move to someone else. Who's next?
Can I suggest Yaakov, because he had very little last time?
Who?
Yaakov.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Yaakov, go ahead.
And he shouldn't be left for last, even though the last is an important.
Okay. Yaakov hat eingetunkt der Finger in Wasser und benetzt Soros Lippen. Yaakov dipped his finger in water and moistened Soros lips. Hat angetappt ihr Stirn, and he patted her forehead. Hat sich gebeugen über ihr, gemurmelt. He bent over her and he muttered. Sie ist gelegen wie vertieft in Machshovas, was gehören mehr nicht zu der Welt. She was lying deep in thoughts which which no longer belonged to this world. Yaakov hat sich ausgewiesen, als me entfert ihr schon auf die Kasches, was für die Lebendige ist kein Entfer, auf sie nicht voran. To Yaakov, it appeared that they were answering her questions, which for the living there doesn't exist an answer. Es hat sich gedacht, als Sora spart sich mit sei Augen, fragt über, teilt sich aus. It seemed that Sora was arguing or debating with them up above, asking them, arguing with them, and arguing with them. Der Kinn hat sich geschockelt. Her chin shook. In die Schläfen haben gezittert die Oderen. In her temples, her veins trembled. Von Mal zu Mal hat sich bewiesen in ihr Ponym etwas soins wie ein Schmeichel. Ein Steiger, wie es sie wollte gesagt. A sie ist die Meise. From time to time, there appeared on her face something which looked like a smile, as if she would have said, this is how it is, this is the story. Nu wie so hab ich, Jan Bziks Tochter, das gekonnt wissen. So, how would I, Jan Bzik's daughter, how would I have known this? Zu etwas soins kann man sich nicht der trachten, a viele in Milliarden Jahr, for such something like this couldn't be considered even for tens of thousands of years. Sie ist kosher, at Tzedekes, tausendmal besser von sei. She is kosher, a good person, a pious woman, 1,000 times better than them. Hat etwas in Jaakoven geschrien. Something in Yaakov cried out. Keiner ist nicht gewesen im Himmel und weiß nicht, was bei Gott ist teil. Nobody has yet been in heaven and who could know what is important to God. Die Sorge, die Pachad, die Abgesünderkeit haben gehabt, der weckt in ihm a Widerspänigkeit. The worries, the fear, the solitariness aroused in him a kind of disobedience and insubordination. Is great gewinn, sich gegenstellen a viele dem Riboinischen Olam. He was prepared even to oppose the master of the universe. Avade is einzig geachtert. Certainly, he was unique, geachtert, revered, allmächtig. Aber Gerechtigkeit muss sein Umetum. He was revered, all-powerful, but justice must exist all over. Gott kann nicht sein etwas kein Gershon Tokif, was handelt die Starke und speit auf die Schwache. God could not be a kind of Gershon, the influential, who flattered the strong people and spat on the weak ones. A goy, a Gentile, is dus Emerson's Schuld, was is geboren bei a Säune Tate Mama und nicht kein anderer? Whose fault is it that he was born by to such parents and not others? Kon sein a Bechira by der Mammen in Beuch? Can there possibly be a choice in the mother's womb? Aber Asa wie sie darf sich rotten in Gehennem, is nicht doch kein Yosher a viele in Himmel. If this is the case, that she should roast in hell, is there no justice even in heaven?
No, it's a statement. Then there is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
It says, Oib, if this is the case, is nicht da, then there is no justice.
Yeah. Okay, great. Der Vernacht hat angeheben zu fallen. Evening began to fall. Jeden seinen schon gegangen, jeden seinen schon gegangen, davenen Minche. Jews were already going to the afternoon prayer. In Kitlen, in Talasim, und Gold gelächte Häuben, wie die blaue Socken oder in Steckschicht. And they were going in white kittles, in their prayer shawls, in their talasim, in gilded bonnets, in blue socks.
No, just in their socks, not wearing shoes. This is This is Kol Nidre they're going to. So they were in only socks. Bläuse Socken.
Okay, and only socks. Yeah, Bläuse. Sorry, yeah, only in socks or in slippers. Die Weiber haben gehabt, ausgeputzt in Schubes, Jupitzes, Sterntichlich. The women were dressed in winter coats, in long coats, long men's coats. The men had long men's coats and headscarves. In Fenster haben sich angezündet eine Schommerlicht. And in the windows, Johtzeitlicht candles were burning. A Gewein hat sich getrogen von alle Stuben. A crying came out of all the houses. Jeder einer in Pilitz hat gehabt verloren die Neunte in die Schrittes. Every person in Pilitz had lost their close ones in the massacres. Erst mit Aval zurück is Jacob gewinning Kass auf die Jiden. And just a short while before, Jacob was angry with the Jews. Jetzt hat ihm übergenommen das Rachmanis, but now compassion overcame him. A verpeinigte Volk, a people who were suffering. A Volk, was Gott hat ausderweilt, auszugießen der Ruf aller Plogen von der Teuchacha. A people that God had chosen to pour out on them all the afflictions of the Teuchacha, the biblical passage listing all the punishments of Israel. Okay, should we move to someone else?
Moshe?
Sure, okay. The Alte Yidene, the old lady, the Gabaita, the Gabba's wife, hat geöffnet die Tür, opened the door und hereingebracht Jakoben zum Verfasten a Halbhuhn, a Challah, a Porstücklich fish. She opened the door and brought in to Jacob to break his fast.
Well, before the fast, so.
Oh, thank you. Far, yeah.
Far.
We don't have a good word for that in English. To pre-fast.
Okay. Half a hen, a challah, and a few pieces of fish. Die anderen haben fortgehat sich zu ihm zu den Entern. The others were frightened to approach him, but she, die Zakena, this old lady, darf sich mehr vor Gott nicht schrecken, doesn't have to be frightened of anything. Sie ist zugegangen zu der krankes Bett. She went to the patient's bed, gestanden auf and stood there for a while. Die hat aufgehoben, Ponemol, ausgetrickend wie a feig. She lifted her face that was dried out like a fig, gel wie wax, yellow as wax, gewirrt mit Kneitchen und in der Länge und in der Breite. It was lined with creases, what creases?
Wrinkles.
Thank you. Wrinkles, both in the length and the breadth. Wie verzeitige Schrift auf die vertickende Parmet, auf vertickenden Parmet, like an olden day writing on a dried out parchment. Die Augen ihrer haben geguckt auf Jakob und krumm. The eyes looked crookedly at Jakob, young, mit mamischer Verständigkeit, with motherly understanding. Aval hat das horike Mäul sich geschockelt und for a little while the hairy mouth shook und upon him nicht gekonnt bringen die Wörter, and apparently were not able to bring out the words. Danach hat sie also getan, after that she was able to say, bet ihr euch a good year, ask for, pray for a good year. Alles kann noch sein gut, everything can still turn out okay. Wir haben a guten Gott, we have a good God, und diese keine ist sich vergangen in a Hazerik gewesen, and she went into a hoarse crying. Carry on? Or?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Mitten der Nacht hat die Schlafe geöffnet die Augen. Midnight, the weak, sick person opened her eyes. Die Lippen haben sich genommen bewegen. The lips started to move. When Jakob hat hört a call, and Jakob heard a voice, was es gekommen wie von weiter weg, as heard a voice that was coming as if from far away, und von a Hals was his halb versteckt and a half-choked throat. Jakob hat gehad an österlich gefühl. Jakob had an unusual, extraordinary feeling, a steiger, as if, wie das call, as if this voice und der Guff wollten schon gewähren, abgeschädet, as if the body and so what came before the body?
Their call. Their call and their goof.
As if the voice and the body were already separated. And hat sich zu ihr niederig zugebeugen. He bowed down lowly to her. Sie hat gemurmelt auf Polish. She muttered in Polish, Yaakov, sie schreien Yom Kippur, Yaakov, it's already Yom Kippur. Yasora, Yom Kippur, Banach, it's the eve of Yom Kippur. Was bist du nicht in der Buschnitzer? Why are you not in church yet? Als du wirst gesund sein, will ich gehen in Schule. When you are feeling better, I will go to Schule. Die Schlafe hat zurück zugemacht, die Wirs, the sick person, the weak person, again closed her eyes, her eyelids were etwas wie übergetracht, and it was as if she was reconsidering. So hat ausgewiesen, wie sie wollte, wieder eingeschlafen. It looked as if she had gone to sleep again. Mit einmal hat sie wieder geöffnet die Augen und gesagt. Suddenly she opened her eyes again and said, ich will bald sterben. I'm going to die soon. Was redest du? What are you saying? Das tut mir ein Vorschläger. You will have a complete healing. Nein, Jakob, die Füße seien mir schon tight. No, Jakob, my legs are dead already. Should I carry on? Because there are lots of people here. And,
Well, I think, a little bit further. You've only
okay,
read for a
okay,
few minutes.
yeah, okay. Jacob had hier geproefd, geben a bissel Joich. Jacob tried to give her some soup, aber die Zehen seinen gewinn verhackt und die Joich hat sich ausgegossen, but the teeth were clenched and the soup just spilled out. Sie ist gelegen wie tot. She was lying as if dead. Sie ist nicht gewinn kein Zeichen, als sie atmet. There was no sign of breathing. Jacob hat sich gebeugen über ihr. Jacob bent over her, verbrochen die Hand, and he wrung his hands. Hat so viel Gott gebeten die letzte Wochen und Tag. He had prayed such a lot, pleaded such a lot the past weeks with God. Iets hat sich hat ausgewebt in ihm, der Verlangen zu Tfila. Now the desire for prayer just died in him, became shriveled, weakened. Is geworden voll mit Jeus. He was full of anguish. Man hat in Himmel sich nicht zugehört zu sein Gebet. In heaven they had not listened to his plea. Man hat verschlossen vor ihm die Teuren von Rachamim. They had closed for him the gates of mercy. Ist gestanden, geguckt auf der Kranke und sich abgegeben nach Chesem, als hat.
You going?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Keep in touch.
Nach Chesem, als hat sie der Harbe. He looked at the sick person and he made an accounting for himself that he had actually murdered her. Sie wollte jetzt gewinn gesund und frisch in dem Dorf, wenn wollte sie nicht der Nenter zu sich. She would have been healthy and fresh in her village if he had not neared her to himself. Jeder Sinn, every sin, wie klein sie ist, however small,
Now, you skipped a line.
klein sie ist, wie gewollt genommen am Messer.
No, you've skipped a line. Wie
Oh.
klein sie soll nicht sein.
Wie klein sie soll nicht sein. Every sin, however small it might be, was sich aus mit Ritzicha, ends with murder, what Jacob zu sich gesagt. Jacob said to himself, sie ist wie gewollt genommen am Messer und sie gekeult. It's as if I had taken a knife and slaughtered her. I think I can stop there.
Right, maybe Elka?
Es hat gewähnt in ihm die Unbeholfenkeit und Liebschaft, als was hat nicht gekonnt bis jetzt. There was a crying in him. What is Unbeholfenkeit?
Helplessness. That's the subject. The helplessness cried out in him.
And a helplessness and a love which he had never felt before now. Mit was für Fred wollte gestorben auf ihr Ort. He would be so happy to die with her.
No, in her place.
In her place. Wollte sich gelost auf Stücke zerschneiden für ihr minsten Nagel. He would have allowed himself. I'm sorry, I need help with that. Something with her.
To be cut into pieces. Auf Sticker zerschneiden.
To be cut into pieces for her tiniest fingernail.
Yes.
In Stub is given mitten nachtisch dunkel. In the house, it became dark as midnight. Die zwei Licht in a Kestel samt haben geworfen schottendicke Getzen,
Netzen.
Netzen. The two lights in a box.
In a container of sand. They put the candles in sand, so if it should fall over, it wouldn't
Oh,
ignite anything. It's the two candles in a
yes.
box of sand.
Can you help with the rest of that sentence, please, Raphael?
Sie haben geworfen. They sent forth schattendicke Netzen, shadowy nets.
Ah, von der Schlaferskopf ist gehat darauf gefallen das Tichel. Der Scherben ist gewesen bedeckt mit kurze Haar. From the sleeping woman's head, something had fallen off.
Yeah, her tichel,
tichel?
her kerchief.
Her kerchief had fallen off.
And Sharben is skull.
Yeah, and her skull was bedecked with short hairs, wie bei a Yingel, like with a little, as with a little boy. Sie haben gehabt a Collier von Streu und fire, and they had the color of straw and fire. Yankov hat nicht gewusst, was zu tun. Yankov didn't know what to do. Soll rufen Menschen? Should he call people? Verstören dem Yom Tov and violate the holiday? Keiner kann nicht helfen, sei wie sei. In any case, nobody would be able to help. Hat sich angespart auf a Benkel neben Bett. So he sat down on a bench near the bed.
The Benkel is a chair usually.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And ansparen, not necessarily sit down, but to rest against.
Uh-huh. Okay, hat mehr gar nicht getracht, and he didn't think about anything anymore. Als in him is given Heul. Everything in him was, what is Heul?
Empty, I would say.
Empty. Mm-hmm. Nu schlag, Vater in Himmel, schlag wieviel du willst, hat etwas in ihm gerät. Well, Father in heaven, do as you will. Something in him said.
Yeah, schlag. You can beat me as much as you wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ve'ani le'idi nachon, and it's translated here.
Ich bin ongebreit auf mein Bruch.
See,
I am
prepared.
And mein Bruch, what is that, my fate?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Hat jetzt gehabt ein Verlang, starben mit ihr. He had only one desire, and that was to die with her. Hat gehabt vergessen on dem Kind. He had forgotten about the child. Hat gewollt niederen in Kever, in
Abgrund.
Abgrund. He wanted to go into the grave. Is up in shul.
Shol tachteha, tachti. I'm not even sure what that is. In Sheol below.
And
an Abgrund is a chasm.
He wanted to go into the chasm in the Sheol is hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
The netherworld, perhaps.
Yeah, that's it. The netherworld. That's it.
Yes. Was kein Zurückkehr ist von dort nicht da. from where no one had ever returned.
Yeah, there's no return, zurückkehr. Yeah, right.
Is Opprint not an abyss?
Yeah, and an abyss, or I like to say it's a cliff, but yes, an abyss is right there because it's these are all pseudo synonyms: kever, Abgrund, Schal, Tacht, usually Tachtis, Tachtia, Tachtecha. I'm not sure.
Mit amol hat die Kranke wieder geöffnet die Augen. From time to time, the
No,
sick
suddenly.
suddenly the sick woman opened her eyes again. Das Kohl ist geworden klar und neuend wie bei einer Gesunter. And her voice was clear and strong, like as with a healthy person.
Yeah, not close, but yeah, strong will work.
Neuend, how would you translate
Well,
that?
not is nearby.
Aha. Ze Yaakov, das Tatele. Look, Jacob, the little one.
No, that's Tatla. My daddy. She's seeing things now.
Ah,
Now,
Yaakov
Tatala
was with,
can refer to her daddy. It could also mean a priest, but I think it means her daddy.
ah. I thought that was sometimes a diminutive that they would use for children, but I guess not.
It can be, but I don't think she's talking about the kid.
Ah, okay. Yaakov hat sich umgeguckt. Jacob looked. Was redest du? What are you talking about? Du siehst ihn nicht? Don't you see him? Oh, da steht er. He's standing right here. I'm going to pass the torch on now to somebody else.
Okay, right there. So, Sal,
In there.
unter Schlafers.
Hold on
Again.
1 second. Hold on 1 second.
I've got it marked here in the
here.
line. Okay.
In der
Unter Schlafers.
Unter Schlappers Augen haben sich Weiner
A vent.
Avent getun zu der Tier and to the one that was sleeping.
Now,
Sleeping
Schlafer
eyes.
is the sick woman.
Oh, the Schlappers Augen, her eyes haben sich Weiner getun.
A vent getan.
Avent getan. What is Avent?
Sie haben gewendet. They turned.
Oh, towards the door. Getting Abend, Tatale, hat sich gerät.
Hat sie gerät.
Sie gerät, yeah. Good evening, Daddy, our little one. She said, bis gekommen noch dem Wandern, Wandern.
Nein, Wandern. That's her name, Wanda.
Oh, Wanda. Oh, bis gekommen noch. Did you come for Wanda?
Yeah, you have come for your
Oh,
Wanda.
you come for Wanda, okay. Hast nicht vergessen dein beliebte Tochter. You have not forgotten your beloved daughter. Bald, Tatele, will ich sein mit dir. Soon, little one, or Tatele, I'll be with you.
It's daddy. I think daddy is the right translation
Daddy?
for Tato.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be with you. Let's see. Valzi, wait, a little one. Tato noch apur min tikel
Minutkalech. Minutkalech.
Oh, a couple of minutes. Yeah, little minutes, a couple of little minutes. Wie schön die
Wie schön die bist.
Oh, wie schön die bist. Tatala, little one. Eingeanzen.
In Ganzen.
In Ganzen. Eingetinken in Licht. So you're dipped in completely in the light.
Yeah. So wie schön du bist. How beautiful you are, daddy.
Yeah. it says you're eingelichten, you're lit by the light.
Yeah, you're dipped in light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Yaakov had gekickt zu der Tier. Yaakov looked at the door. Nor er hat Gornish gesehen, but he didn't see anything. A while hat die Kranke geschwiegen in die Augen. Ihr haben genommen wie reinzukippen in die Lecher,
lecher.
Lecher, oh, in the hole. I need help with that one.
So, a while hat die Kranke geschwiegen. For a while, the sick one was silent. In die Augen ihrer genommen wie reinsinken in die Lecher. And her eyes began to sink into their sockets.
Wow. Sie sind geworden klein. They became small. Starr und etwas wie blind. What is a star? In etwas.
Yeah, star is immobile.
Oh, in etwas wie in similar to being blind.
Yes.
Yaakov hat gerät zu ihr. Yaakov talked to her. Nor sie hat nicht geantwortet. She didn't answer. And she's given, let's see, kinnick,
Kentik.
huh? Kinnick?
Kentik. It was clear. It's going, you could make Hotke Kent der Kennen is given Kentik. It was
Oh, yeah. As sie het nicht. And it was clear that she didn't hear. Der noch hat sie also getan. Then she said, or she gave a reply, or she said something, right?
yeah. Then she said the following. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You want more?
Yeah, do another paragraph. They're short.
Okay. Za,
Ze.
ze, die, die Barbe,
Die Boba.
the Bubba is euch da. Well, see that the Baba is here.
Yeah, my granny is also here.
Yeah. Oi, Bubble, Bubbele, Bubbele. Ich hab dich allemal lieb gehabt. Oh, Granny, I loved you all the time. I always loved you. Flakes zogen als ich bin dein best Einige. Let's see, hopefully you can say that I was your best grandchild.
Yeah, Flex, you used to say.
Oh, Flakes. Flakes zogen, you used to say, It's bist er gekommen noch mehr. It's now you come for me, right?
Yes.
It's, I dank dir, Bubble. Thank you, Granny. Wie shine die Zeest aus. How pretty you look. Die in dos Tatala, you and your little one.
No, you and Daddy.
You and Daddy. Okay. Kim zu euch, ich Kim. I'm coming to you. I'm coming. Wenn ich unwellen mir sein ständig zusammen. So from now on, we'll be together always.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll pick up now. Sora, wirst noch sein gesund? Sarah, you will still recover. Bist der Mama von a Kind. You are a mother of a child. Hat Yankov gerät. nicht gläubendig die eigene Wörter. Yaakov said it, but not believing his own words. Du hast gehabt ben Zacher. You've had a, uh, a male child. Ja, yes. Du musst leben für ihn und für mir. You've got to live for him and for me. Nein, Jakob, ich muss gehen. No, Jakob, I have to go. Hat noch gerät zu ihr, aber sie hat mehr nicht geantwortet. He continued speaking to her, but she no longer answered. Sie hatte viel mehr nicht geöffnet die Augen. She even stopped opening, she no longer opened her eyes. Sie ist gelegen in einer Vertuigkeit, also wie kein Schumred können nicht überreißen. She was lying in a situation, I guess, Vertuigkeit, unusual word from tun, to do, such that no sort of speech could pull her out of it. Etwas hat in ihr gearbeitet. Something was working in her. Es hat ausgewiesen Yankovin, als dort dahin, wo sie geht jetzt. It seemed to Jacob that there, where she was headed, kann man euch nicht ankommen gering, is also a place which is not easy to reach. Sie hat sich mit etwas gerangelt. She was fighting with something. Sie hat sich mit Emerson geampert, gespart. She was fighting, struggling with something, with someone. Von Mal zu Mal hat sie herausgelassen die verstickten Sifts. From time to time, she let out a choking sigh. Die Keuches, was lassen nicht bekommen das Leben, haben euch nicht gelassen sterben. The forces which do not allow you to acquire life also did not allow to die. Epis amekatrig hat gehetzt, gestert. Some sort of a accuser was standing in the way and was causing problems. Der Geusis hat sich verentfert vor ihm. The dying woman, a goisis is a specific stage of death, one about to die, a goisis. The goisis was defending herself in front of him, mit Lippen geschwollene, with swollen lips, zahakte, with I don't know how that really works in this case. With lips that were, how are you going to translate sahakt?
Chapped in this.
Chapped, yeah, that's fine. Von die vergleiste Augen hat rausgeguckt der Gebet. From her glassy eyes, a plea looked out. Es hat sich gedacht, als sie sagen, it appeared that they were saying, nu, ich kann mehr nicht. Well, I can no longer. Ich bin müde. I am tired. Lass mich schon gemacht. Let me alone. Yaakov hat gewollt, sie soll sagen wieder. Yaakov wanted her to recite wieder of the penitential prayers before dying. Starben mit Shema Yisrael, to die with the Shema Yisrael on her lips. Aber es ist schon gewesen zu spät, but it was already too late. Es ist wade äußerlich zu trachten, als Yom Pshik soll sich da, Yom Kippur, bei Nacht, gefinnen zusammen mit der Goye, Abobbe. It was certainly exceptional to think that Yom Pshik should here, in the evening of Yom Kippur, to appear together with a Gentile woman, a Boba, a granny. Aber wer weiß die Seides von Himmel? But who knows the secrets of heaven, on Erd, of heaven and earth? Yankov hat aber einmal und wieder einmal geguckt zu der Tür. Yankov, once again and yet again, looked over at the door. Efter wird allein euch der Blicken, die Gestalt von Yamshik. Maybe he himself will also catch sight of the form of Yamshik. Azoi wie Yankov is gesessen auf dem Bänkel, and just as Yankov was sitting on the chair, is gehat eingeschlafen. He fell asleep. Der Kopf ist ihm herabgesunken. His head fell down. Und hat sich azoi herabgelost, and he let it in that position. Reingetan in a sichere Vergessenheit. He was um, immersed in a sweet forgetfulness. Hat getan a Zappel, he shuddered, und sich aufgerissen, and he woke up. Hat a Guck getan auf Soren. He looked at Sarah und gewusst, as sie ist tot, and he knew then that she was dead. In der kurzer Weile hat das Ponem ihres gehat sich geändert. In that short time, her face had changed, nicht zu der können, to be unrecognizable. Das Mäuel is gewen halb aufgespart. Her mouth was half opened. Ein Auge offen, one eye was open. Das Gerangel hat gehat aufgehört. That struggle had finished. Und die geschwollene und zerhackte Lippen haben jetzt wie Stummerheit gesagt. And her swollen and chapped lips were as if they were saying silently, "Nu, schon als gekommen. Well, I have surmounted everything." A Shalom hat geschwebt auf der Teuter Zura. A peacefulness was lying on her dead appearance, her face. A Nachgiebigkeit, a Nachgiebigkeit. I'm just looking it up in my dictionary here. Tolerance, nicht von dannen, that was not from this world. Das is mehr nicht gewesen die Kranke. This was no longer the sick, die gejagte und gepeinigte Sarah. The Sarah who was sick, who was chased, and who was tortured. Was hat sich gehabt eingerissen mit jedem, mit Goyim, who had fought both with Jews and with non-Jews. Verloren die Heim, who had lost her home, die Sprach and her language. Nor a mestahar. But now she was a corpse, a pure. A mestahar refers to a corpse, but literally it means a pure dead one. Versus Alam and Moichel, who had forgiven everyone. Und was keiner kann ihm mehr nicht tun, and whom no one can any longer do, nicht kein Schlechts und nicht kein Guts, neither bad nor good. Der Guf is da gelegen. Her body was lying here, aber die Neshama hat angespart in Weitkeiten. But her soul was ungespart. I'm not quite sure.
Reached.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, but her soul had reached into the distances and the heights. Wo das Lebendige kann Kimmel nicht ergreifen, where those who are alive can never reach. Es hat geheucht von ihr mit der Chesed. It breathed out of her a loving kindness, was es über alle menschliche Gefälligkeiten, which is beyond all human feelings. Or Gefälligkeit? I'm not sure. That's an unusual word. Es ist gewesen, wie Yankov, wollte solche gewesen, zu sein, a göttliche Gestalt. It was as if he, Yankov, had acquired the merit to see a godly image Emerson von die himmlische Hecholas, someone from the heavenly courts, von der Meise Hamerkova, from the uh, deeds of the chariot. This is a mystical idea based on the vision of the chariot that Ezekiel had. So Maser HaMerkava, the mystical realms, let's say. Er hat nicht geweint, he did not cry, aber das Ponem is ihm gewinn nass, but still his face was wet. Er hat gehabt ungeheuben mit Lust zu Leib. He had begun with a lust to a body, mit a Begehr nach peurischer Schickse, nach a peurischer Schickse, with a desire towards a peasant non-Jewish woman. And but now, nach 9 Jahren, after 9 years, hat sich gebeugen über a Heiligkeit. He was bent over something that was holy. Yankov hat voil banumen. Yankov well recognized as the Chevra Kadisha vetem onton negishis, that the burial society would, now, what are negishis? Someone whose Hebrew is better than mine.
Persecute him.
Persecute?
Okay, persecutions then. He knew then that the Chevra Kadisha would persecute him. Efter sie nicht wollen begraben auf den jüdischen Besalmen. And maybe they would not allow that she be buried in the Jewish cemetery. Mitzad de Goyim hat geleuert auf ihm noch ein ärgerer Gefahr. But from the non-Jews, there was lurking against him a worse danger. Aber all das Erdische is im Itzt vorgekommen klein. But everything that has to do with this world seemed to him small, nichtig, unimportant. Wenn Yankov hat geguckt auf der Schalve, was hat geruht, as Jacob looked at the peacefulness that was resting, wie die Shechina, as the indwelling presence of God, auf dem Dozekin Ponim, on that face of Sarah, is allein geworden, weit von aller irdische Bedrängnissen. He himself felt far from all of the earthly forces. Bedrängnissen. Forces isn't quite right.
Anxiety?
Worries, anxiety.
Worries, okay, good. Hat es nicht getan, he wasn't supposed to, aber hat sich herabgebeugen und gekuscht ihr Stern. But he bent over and kissed her forehead. Heilige Neshama, holy soul. Die Tür hat sich aufgeprallt und es seien rein etliche Mannsleid. The door opened and a few men came in, und Weiber and women, alle von der Chevra Kadisha, all of them from the Chevra Kadisha, the burial society. A heucher Yid in a streimel and in a kittel hat ruf getan. A tall fellow wearing a streimel, a fancy fur hat, and in a kittel, and still wearing his kittel, called out, "Was tut er? Betor nicht. What's he doing? You're not supposed to." Loi alleinu mituraf, hat der Zweiter gesagt. What is that? Not upon us mituraf.
You see, but it's an expression.
What is it?
God save us, but maturif by itself means craziness, I think.
Yeah, craziness. Lo aleinu mituraf. So God help us. I'll just translate it that way. I don't recognize that expression. A second one said, "A chevre Yidene hat zugelegt a federal zu der Teutens Nozlacher." A woman from the burial society placed a feather against the nostrils of the dead one. Es hat sich nicht gerührt, but it didn't move. And that's the official way of finding if someone has died. You look for breath with a feather.
Okay. Es ist nicht der Steiger, man soll rufen an der Sefer Motze Yom Kippur. Aber Gershon, der Rosh HaKol, hat gerufen an der Sefer von die Parnosim zusammen mit die Chevre Kedisha beim Rov in Beis Din Stub. It wasn't the custom, it wasn't done to call a meeting after it's on the night of Yom Kippur. But Gershom, the leader of the community, called a meeting of the Parnosim, well, I suppose you could say the committee,
Well, it's
together
the
with,
wealthy benefactors. Yeah.
yeah, well, okay, together with the Chevra Kadisha at the rabbi in his Beis Din Stub, in his courtroom. Früher hat man geredet und sich gespart a gute Show. Earlier, they had spoken and debated for a long time. Dennoch is der Shamas Avekrufen Yankoven. Afterwards, the Shamas, the beadle, left to call Yankov. Yankov is gesessen und gewacht über dem Meis. Aber der Shamas hat vernommen sein Ort. Yankov was sitting and watching over the dead woman, but the Shamas took his place. Die Rebbetzin hat Yankov mechabet gewesen mit Kuchen und süßen Bromfen, aber hat nicht gewollt versuchen, kein Schumspeis. The Rebbetzin offered Yankov a cake and sweet liquor, but he didn't want to taste any food. Hat so getan. Bei mir ist jetzt a zweiter Yom Kippur. For me, it is now a second Yom Kippur. Das ist a krummer Weg, hat der Rov geteilt. Ein Yom Kippur is genug. That's not the right way, the rabbi claimed. One Yom Kippur is enough. Die Leute seien zugestanden und Yankov hat gegossen a Löffel
Gegessen.
Reis und vertrunken mit Wasser. The people urged Yaakov and poured out
No, gegessen, not gegossen. Hat gegessen.
Okay, hat gegessen, yes. And Yaakov ate a spoon of rice and he sipped some water. Das Ponim ist gewinn weiß. Und wenn hat genommen das Schellechel, hat die Hand ihn gezittert wie bei einer Socken. His face was white, and when he drank from the cup, his hand trembled like an old man. Die Jiden haben verlangt von Jakoven, soll sie sagen dem ganzen Emes. The Jews standing around wanted Yaakov to tell them the whole truth. Der Rov hat so getan. And the rabbi said, Es geht nicht bloß wegen dir, nur wegen ganz Kohol. It's not really only about you, but it's about the whole community. Ob wir sollen tun etwas gegen sehr Gesetz, seien wir alle in Sakona. If we do something which goes against the law, we are all in danger. Du weißt ganz gut, was die Rishoyim haben mit uns getan. You know very well what these wicked people have done to us. Is Lomer wissen dem ganzen Emes. So let's hear the whole truth. Ob du hast gesündigt, schäm sich nicht für uns. If you have sinned, don't be embarrassed before us. Es ist Motzei Yom Kippur. Jetzt seien alle Jiden rein. It's the end, it's after the Yom Kippur. Now all the Jews are pure.
Good.
And perhaps that's a good place to stop.
Yeah.